Oh, all right. Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to White Sands Self-Care, where we provide education, resources, and connection to a whole host of professionals that can help support you in your self-care journey. I am your host, Laura Cross, and I have with us today another very special guest and good friend of mine, Don Livingstone, or Livingstone, as we were just talking about that. It's pronounced a little bit different in Scotland. Dawn lives in East Texas, but is originally from Edinburgh, Scotland. She is an Ascension Coach, author, energy healer, and owner of Voyage of Transcendence LLC. Dawn has been working with energy for over 20 years and has had the pleasure of assisting people to change their outlook on life and create a less stressful future. She works with the vibrations held in the mind and body that create fear and trauma and cuts the ever-looping cycle to dissolve the vibration and raise your emotional state. She helps people break through their fear, addictions, traumatic situations, and in general with anyone who feels stuck and feels like they can't move forward to create what they would truly want in their lives. Helps you go within to look inside to find the real core issues. She enjoys educating about energy and connection, how you create your life, and also by intuitively finding and removing those limiting subconscious beliefs and blocks that we have, creating our sabotaging habits. Dawn assists you in taking control of your life and getting back in vibrational alignment with our goals instead of creating from our past pain and suffering. She works with you so that you can take back control of your mind instead of being a prisoner of it, and to get you back on track to better health, wealth, relationships, and happiness. And I am so happy to have her here with us today. This is also a field that I've been trying to learn, working on learning more about is vibration, because we are all energy and vibrations. But Dawn, tell us, it's been 20 years and stuff, but what got you started in being an Ascension Coach?
Oh goodness, what got me started was my life experience, really. I didn't find out the truth about how life works until I was nearly 40. And I had led a life of bullying and mental, emotion, and psychological abuse for most of my adult life. I probably started to get bullied when I was about 10, 11, I think. And really with me coming up to 40 years old, actually had an epiphany about, what was causing it all. The light bulb went on. And it all happened when I had a very bad accident in a karate class with my two youngest kids. And I was thrown really badly and landed on my right hip, and I broke the bottom disc in my back. And I was flat. I laid flat for about 4 months and went back to work eventually, still in a lot of pain, and had to see a counsellor. And it was all this stuff that I just dumped on this poor woman at the time about what was going on at home and how I was feeling, and it just, something told me just to dump everything on her. And it was what she had said to me after that was, so how long have you been abused? And I said to her, well, I've never been abused. He's never, my husband never laid a hand on me, and I don't think he ever would. And then she explained that I was really just relating abuse to physical violence, physical abuse, and that there were many different kinds. And she says, from what you've told me, you've been mentally, emotionally, verbally, and psychologically abused for most of your life. And that's when my light bulb went on, because it was then I seemed to have been given this knowledge that empowered me to understand that the only reason that I was getting abused in those ways was because I allowed it to happen. We're all taught, there's something not quite right, you go to the doctor. They don't say, sit quiet and go inside and see what the real issue is. So really that was what I wanted to do, was take my life experience and help people to maybe see that they may be already in a similar situation. They just don't get it. They just don't see that they are, because that's where I was for the first 40 years of my life. I didn't know where I was. I was giving my power away without even realizing it. You know, I'd given away my sovereignty, my needs were put on the back burner, everybody else's needs came first. And as a result, the feelings that came up with me for doing that, I was just sweeping them under the rug. You know, so my emotions were building up and building up a bit like a volcano, you know, and I knew they were just ready to erupt, which is what happened with that poor counsellor, that poor woman.
I think we all have a tendency to do that. You know, you start to bury and bury and bury, and then it's just that one little
Yeah,
person, and you know, help the poor person that you just dumped on,
I
because
know
that just,
that's
you
true.
just, you know,
Oh,
go.
I'm sure she was used to it. But what I really wanted to do was take my experience and help others to move forward and go through it and transcend it, you know, so that they could see it earlier and not have to wait till they were 40 as well, you know.
Right. So how would you define the term ascension? Not a lot of people are familiar with that term, the ascension, you know, to be an ascension coach.
Well, it really just describes what I do. The word ascension really means to rise above and to go through. Ascension and transcend are two very similar words. So I like the ascension coach type a word, and I also use the transcendence because I'm helping people to look into their lives, go back into their past, and see where these horrible memories are that bring up all these emotions. Um, and I want to help them to remove the vibrations so that they can get rid of the pain and suffering that they've been in the past. Because unless we can sever the connection between that trauma, you know, that incident, and the associated emotions that hold themselves in the body, unless we can sever that, they're going to keep creating more of their past. So we don't want to live in the past. We want to live right in the present moment without having any regrets or fears. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to get them to get themselves in their body, understand that they don't have to carry this going forward. They've carried it for so long now. They can let it go as quick as they like. And I use energy healing. And some hints and tips and techniques as well, and some exercises that help them to drill down to remember how they were feeling at the time, so that those feelings are the ones I can remove.
Yeah. We were having a conversation just the other day, a couple of speakers ago and stuff. We were saying how, you know, you get things stuck in your head. It's like this broken record that just keeps playing over and over. And until you make that stop and like create your own new recording,
Yes.
it's still in there, and it affects what you do. And I don't think we often think about that or realize what affects, whether it's pain in your body or this, because your body has a way, the cells and stuff, of remembering, you know,
Yes.
all that stuff, and it causes more problems
Mhm.
than I think people realize.
It does. And when you have a traumatic incident, your brain takes a snapshot of that image, right? And that's your memory. And it associates an emotion with that memory of what you were feeling at the time. And that's what anchors in the body. So every time you recall this memory, you also recall and reinforce that emotion within the body. So the more you talk about it, the more you think about it, you're actually emphasizing it as something, as a way you want to live. So what I've managed to do, not just with myself, but for many, many others, is to allow them, you know, at the end of their sessions, they can go away and they can remember these things, but they don't have that horrible emotion that comes back to it, so it doesn't affect them moving forward. And that's my goal. I don't want anybody to continue creating their pain and suffering that they've experienced in the past.
Yeah, and I think a lot of us see that as like venting. You think you're doing yourself good as you're getting it out of your system, you're venting, but like you're saying, really it's not. You're replaying it and saying that
Yeah.
it's
And
okay to feel that way. It's you think you're getting rid of it, but you're really not, because it's still there.
yeah, well, you're reinforcing it. Talking about it can be good though, because it can help you to find the root cause of the issue. But unless you treat the root cause, it's still going to be there. You've definitely got to cut that cycle, that loop, that habit, because throughout our lives, we create all these paradigms, we create these habits, and the more we reinforce it, the more it goes into the subconscious mind, which runs automatically. So we don't even have to think about it. Did you know that we actually only create our lives consciously between 1% and 4% of the time. The rest of it is subconscious. So we're creating our day between 95 and 99% of the time subconsciously, and it's running on programs. It's just like computer software.
Yeah, it's like
So we
being
want to
on
flip that
autopilot.
round. Yes, it is. Yeah.
That's like when if you've gone to work and you go every day and it's like all of a sudden, okay, you're at work, but don't remember making that left turn. You don't remember the lights or getting on. You just went in there,
Done
did that.
that
It's like,
so many times. Like, how did I get here?
and it's a weird
I drove
feeling
this
too,
whole
when you
way.
realize that it's like, okay, well, obviously I got here safely. I'm in one piece, but I don't remember doing that. I remember when that happened with me in Germany, went off the Autobahn and stuff one time. It's like, okay, no, I had to have gotten on the Autobahn. Obviously I got off. I'm here at work, but just did not even remember even that or how I even got there.
Absolutely. I've done it a few times myself. Mhm.
Yeah,
I hear
definitely.
you.
So what kind of clients, Dawn, do you normally work with? What kind of, do you have a specific client or you have a specialty out of it? I mean, because there's all kinds of traumas and stuff people can go through.
There is. I wouldn't say I work with a specific type of group. I work with anybody really. I've got quite a few different genres, if you like. There's some people that want to help their finances, but they find it's not really about the finances, it's about themselves. I would say that 95% of my client base has been abused in some way, shape, or form. And that doesn't sound like, I'm trying to think of the word. Somebody's eating my words. What's the word I'm looking for? Give it to me, Laura.
Like you said, abuse is many forms. It's not always just physical. It can
Well,
be mental or, things
I'm
that's emotional.
not surprised that
Yeah.
the abuse, people that have been abused come to me because I have been in that vibration, and it's as if they have that knowing that I've suffered, I've been in pain, I've gone through something similar to what they've gone through, and I've come through it, so I would be a person to help them. I also help people to understand the mind and body connection, the mind body emotion connection, if you like. People like from the military, from first responders, doctors, nurses, those that are working with people in stressful situations. If they're surrounded by fear and panic and pain, they don't realize that energy transference is a big thing, and it's a real thing. They don't understand that they take on that fear and suffering from others. So my goal is to get out to more and more people in that realm, if you like, and help them to understand how they can protect themselves and how they can clear themselves.
Yeah, and until recently, I never used to hear it referred to as vibrations or energies and stuff, but really that's what it is. You just know sometimes when you're around certain people, they really either light you up or it's just like, I need to leave.
They
They make you
suck you
really
dry.
uncomfortable,
Yeah.
or or you makes your hair, you'll say you makes your hair stand up on your, on your arms. It's like, time to go,
And that would be the energy vampires. There's quite a few of them around. People don't understand they do it because they can't see it actually happening. But if you do sense energy in a big way, I do sometimes. But you can sense it a mile off, and there's been several occasions where I have just not gone into a store or somewhere else just because I don't like the feel of the place that I'm going into. So I'm trying to get out to people about the mind body connection, how that really is real, and provide the education so that they can understand how life actually works, how energy is everything, and how it's like a vibration, and if we are living a life that we don't like at the minute, we need to look at what we're attracting, because that's the vibration we've got. Life isn't happening to you, it's happening because of you. Whatever you vibrate, you will attract more of.
Yeah, that's the we always say, like people attract like people, and
Yeah.
they do. If you get sucked into that lower vibration or that lower energy, next thing you know, you have all those kinds of people coming to you. That's why I told people, I said, yeah, I was talking with someone else the other day where we had something and she couldn't understand why she kept getting back in the same situations. And I'm like, well, I can tell you something that one of my mentors told me is like, it's not them, it's you.
You need to cut the
And it's
habit.
kind of like in your face. That's like, what? but it's what you're putting out there. And when you can raise those vibrations and you live a different way, you start attracting the better people and stuff that you want to be around. And I always say those people sort themselves out.
That's true.
Yeah, they'll sort them out.
Yeah, they do.
So, so I know, well, and obviously you can see behind her, Dawn is also one of the co-authors of the book Achieve Wellness. So if you want to know a little bit more about her story, you definitely want to contact her for that. She was one of those authors. But you have a retreat, I believe, coming up with Miss Vanessa Raymond that we talked to last week back in Colorado.
Yes.
Would you like to tell everyone a little bit more about that?
I would love to. Myself and Vanessa Raymond, she is a confidence coach. She is a wonderful friend of mine, and we have teamed up to do a 2-day women's retreat in Colorado Springs. It's on the 20th and the 21st of April, and it's 2 full days of ways to raise your energy and heal yourself inside, bring back your confidence. We're going to have lots of exercises. I'm going to do lots of healing. We're going to do lots of techniques. We're doing some creativity as well as some physical exercise as well. So we're really excited about it. Can I give them the
absolutely.
website address?
Yeah, give them the website address, the dates, whatever they need to know.
Okay, 20th and 21st of April, so it's next month in Colorado Springs at the Hideaway. And you can look on attractionretreats.com for information. And we do have a discount there if you want to bring a friend. So it would be lovely to see people there.
That would be wonderful. And I know you don't live in Colorado anymore either. As I said, she's now in East Texas. Dawn and I met when we were both in Colorado, but I'm also happy to travel to help people and support people as well. So absolutely wonderful. And you have also a free course, I believe, or a free introduction that
I do.
You want to share with people?
It's a free mini course. It was something I created several months back, really, because people ask me what it's all about. And instead of telling people individually, I said, I've got a free course here. You can find out what I'm about and you can experience some healing as well. So I have created a mini course. Can we put the link underneath? Because it's quite a long link.
Yeah, I'll put the link in comments when we're done. I do have that in my email because I did take her mini course. It's a very good course, and the whole hour healing. It's a lot of good information in there.
Okay, yeah, and you're welcome to sign up. It's totally free, and you can go back and visit it anytime you like. It's all around creating a better state, a better internal environment that's going to help boost your immune system.
Wonderful. Maybe one of these days you and I should come up with something we can do here in Missouri. I'll be a little closer.
I have never visited Missouri, so you're on.
We can fix that. We'll get something to arrange up sometime soon. We'll put that together.
Okay, dope.
But thank you, Dawn, very much for being here with me this afternoon.
Pleasure, sweetheart.
Yeah, always a pleasure. And if anyone ever has any questions or you have any you need those healings or those energies or vibrations, absolutely reach out to Dawn. She's a wonderful lady. You can see by some of the comments we had already, there's a lot of people that have worked with her that she has absolutely made an amazing difference for them. And I know you can work with people long distance too. You don't just work with them locally as well, right?
Yeah, no such thing as distance.
No, not with energy healing.
Not with energy healing.
That's the neat thing. You can do that from a distance.
Yeah.
So definitely reach out, and we'll have all that information in the comments below. Next week here, we will have Shauna Cullen with It Fits Well. So that will be our interview person for tomorrow. And remember also that you can always go to the YouTube channel, click like and subscribe. That's where you'll find all of these interviews, and we're working on building that channel. So we greatly appreciate your support. But in the meantime, just always remember that self-care isn't selfish. It's essential for a healthier you. And I want everyone to have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, Dawn.
Bye.
Bye-bye.